What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling! And here!
Wrestling?
Why?
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling.
Why? 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 Why?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Why not? Why not?
It's fake.
Fake? What the hell are you talking about? Fake? It's not fake.
Fake, 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 fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Okay, wrestling.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's Spot Show live stream with me, Ronald Ray. Apologize for last week. Apparently, everything went. Tried out some new equipment at home. I thought it was going good. Went through the whole. Went through the whole stream, thinking I was online and thinking I was live, and apparently I wasn't. Apparently, it froze up and went. If anybody had an Xbox 360, I don't know if you folks remember the 3 Rings of Death. That's basically what it was. But yes, I am on location, using some old equipment. How do I sound? Do I sound decent? Hopefully. For this week anyway, using older equipment. I think next weekend I'll remember to pack all my new stuff. So anyway, enough about me. Hopefully everybody's having a good week. It's almost Friday. Like I said, as you can see, I'm still on location in Rockmart, Georgia, at the Elegant Econo Lodge and Suites. I think it says Suites. Anyway, who cares? I'll actually be here tomorrow night because I do got to work a little bit Saturday. So for tomorrow night's Wrestling Gold Friday night, I will be here as well. So I don't really get to play my new toys. It sucks. Anyway, got a few things to talk about tonight. I'm gonna talk about Jade, talk about a little NXT. You can hear me this week. All right. Do I sound clear? Not echoey? Does it all sound good? Not glitchy? Is it pretty clear? I know it's probably not going to be 100% clear, but clear enough. What is. What is. I'm confused. By the way, hello, Karen Poole. Hello, Joe King. Glad you can join me this evening. So yes, let's do the thing here. If you enjoyed us hearing a guy talking about the sport professional wrestling, like I said, just a regular guy, regular fan. Come on, join me live. Join me in the chat. Also, when you watch this, leave a like button. If you're not watching this live, hey, feel free to give your 2 cents in the comments. Or, like I said, join me in the chat. Like I said, we just talk about pro wrestling and sometimes whatever else comes up, or you can just be like these folks here. Just say hello. That's always cool as well. Also, help your boy out. As soon as I'll spit it out in a minute. Help your boy out. Click on that subscribe button along with that notification bell. That way, when I have new content come out, like my Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, WWE Raw recap, AEW Dynamite recap. Yeah, that's only 2 real recaps I do. Sorry, I do. I still got to work for a living, so yeah. Only 2 for right now. Maybe some way I'll figure out how to squeeze everything in and be able to watch everything like NXT and TNA. They're starting to be the talk of the town. Big crossover feud with TNA and NXT. So hopefully that turns out real well. We'll talk a little bit about that in a few moments. Let's see. So yeah, like I said, join me here. Yeah, would love to watch more NXT and TNA, but like I said, probably soon. I'll try to do what I can to squeeze everything in. Only 24 hours in a day, folks. Gotta try to sleep sometimes. Sometimes. But anyway, let's get this show started. Let me bring my notes up here. Like I said, I don't have two screens, so if I seem a little slow and going back and forth, that's why. Uh, da- 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 Let's talk about Jay Carhill. If you watched SmackDown last week, you seen Jay Carhill got a nasty dash around her, right above her eye, right at her eyebrow. Looked pretty bad. Also, you had that botched. She probably should have discounted a 3. Um, I remember watching. I don't mean to digress, but I remember watching. I think it was Tommy Young's shoot interview. It was either his shoot interview or it was on the on a podcast or something like that. They talked about how, hey, if they don't lift their shoulder, it's your responsibility. Don't because you'll get back in the day, wrestlers will get in trouble too. Say, hey, you gotta count that 3 count. Hey, it's not your fault. The heat's not going to be on you. The heat's going to be on the guy, or this case of a girl woman who didn't raise her shoulder. So, yeah. But it is 2025. Uh, the art of kayfabe and everything else is pretty much no more. But still, um, gotta got to gotta be paying attention. Um, and yes, that mistakes is all on Jax, but uh, did not divert heat on you. Should count that 3. But anyway, I digress. So, Jade Cargill's status has been confirmed after her recent scare on SmackDown. The former AEW star was part of the main event triple threat match with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, where she suffered a cut above her right eye after being sent into the steel steps by Jax late in the contest. No, it wasn't Io's. Of course, it wasn't Io's cut. It was Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. Io knows to kick out. No, nobody. Yeah, somebody got hurt, but this was on SmackDown, so it wasn't Kairi Sane. It was the title match with Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax. The injury caused visible bleeding and raised immediate concern. EW Insider Elite has reported that the injury was not as severe as first feared, with Carhill only needed stitches to close the cut. The expectation is that she could be back in action within a matter of weeks. Come on, it's stitched up, tape it up, go, let's go. And she has not been pulled from WWE's upcoming schedule. Carhill's addressed it. Carhill addressed the situation herself on SmackDown, sharing a photo of the cut on Instagram and writing, "Don't question the love I have for this game." The triple threat match was drawn criticism, with Dave Meltzer commenting on the Wrestling Observer Radio that he felt it was the worst WWE match of the year. Yes, that was the infamous Phantom kickout. Um, Kicked out so hard, so quickly that even referee jumped. But um, gosh, I forgot that lady's name. Pardon me, but I remember seeing her on Georgia Indies. I think Joe, you seen her too. She was pretty good in-ring wrestler. So uh, but WWE wanted her to be a referee, so she got that gig instead. And most of the time, she's been pretty good as a referee, as good as any referee is nowadays. I mean, um, sometimes it's like you just gotta make yourself look dumb sometimes. It's like, yeah, there's something going on right in front of you, but yeah, you just ignore it. Yeah, ignore the match. Pay attention to everybody breaking up a fight way up on a stage at the entrance. Yeah, pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to the match. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do that. Basically, watch a tap out, watch a 3 count. That's about it. But yeah, uh, stitched up should be good to go. I will say Carhill has gotten better as you know as best she could. Uh, as of right now, since she's been in WWE. Not sure what the original. I think the original finish, I guess, was supposed to be Stratton winning, but now it's going to be Tiffany Stratton and uh, Stephanie Van Keur for the Crown Jewel Women's Championship. See who the best of the best is. So that should be pretty good. Stephanie does pretty good in the ring. I thought the match with her and Io Sky. Yeah, don't defame Io Sky. Oh man, don't speak those harsh words about Io Sky. Poor Io's going through enough. Watch your abuse. Just kidding. But it's good that it wasn't not concussion or anything like that. Just a little gash. A flesh wound. It's just a flesh wound. Just a flesh wound. And if you know where that line in that movie is from, hit me up in the chats on that one. You ain't gonna win nothing because just bragging rights. That's it. All right. Like I said, I mentioned NXT a while ago. NXT WWE is shifting gears with how it handles NXT call-ups, moving away from the old practice of abruptly yanking talent from developmental TV. A new report says the company is taking a more strategic and secretive approach, allowing smoother transitions while giving NXT the chance to finish its storylines without disruption. Under Vince McMahon, NXT stars were often pulled without warning, leaving creative teams scrambling to explain sudden exits of champions or top contenders. Now call-ups are kept quiet, and with the main roster's lighter house show schedule, talent can often continue appearing on NXT until their storylines wrap up. Damage control. The report also highlights WWE's growing focus on having veterans with TV experience as part of NXT. These seasoned names not only mentor younger wrestlers at the Performance Center, but also boost the brand's weekly programming with added star power. Some veterans are even signed to specifically stay in NXT with no immediate plans for a Raw or SmackDown run. This philosophy has already been on display with recent signings, bolstering the brand and enhancing its reputation. Currently, NXT is benefiting from this direction with its crossover storyline featuring TNA wrestling talent as well as appearance from main roster stars, making the developmental brand feel more important than ever. So I remember Jim Cornette's interview. One of his complaints, I think this was after Jim Cornette was let go from OVW. I think he still owned it, but as far as him being the, um, I guess the liaison, the kind of go between the WWE and OVW, uh, I think he was let go from that. I think he still owned it at the time, but then wound up selling it. I guess what he had to Danny Davis or whoever. But anyway, but that was his complaint. Sometimes he would have this great storyline going to like one of the big Six Flags shows or something like that, and all of a sudden, you know, they pull whoever up. I remember, shoot, what was the Basham brothers. One of the, I think it was DiMaggio or whatever. The one who had there was one who had hair and one who didn't have hair. One of the April's, I think the story goes, one day to get ready for TV, he sees one of them bald. It's like, what are you doing bald, dude? It's like, well, then you see we're being uh, I'm Danny, that's Doug Basham, and uh, we're the Basham brothers, and Vince told us to shave my head like his. And he's like, well, I have you two in a feud together. I, there's been no settlement with this feud yet, and like the story said, had to scramble, make make it make sense for his TV program to uh, figure out why DiMaggio and Doug Basham are partners on national TV, and while they're feuding in Louisville, Kentucky, on OVW TV. He said that was uh, very hard to deal with because you didn't know. I mean, if Vince wanted you, he wanted you right there, and that's just probably one of many stories, obviously, that has happened to not only OVW. I'm pretty sure it happened when Jody Hamilton, the assassin, had Deep South and Heartland at one time, then now NXT and Florida Championship Wrestling as well. So hey, I need these guys. It wasn't no, hey, I need these guys for or girls for in 2 weeks, finish them up, or I give you a month, finish them up, then I'm going to bring them up to the main roster. It was this, hey, boom, 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 y'all deal with it. I need these folks in the main roster. That's how it was done. So this way, yeah, it is definitely going to be beneficial for all parties. Definitely the NXT brand. That way they know how, especially the talent. Is that way they'll know at least how to finish up their thing, what they're doing. Because even the old territory days, uh, like say a wrestler was going to be let go, or hey, your run is done. We'll give you 2 weeks to go find somewhere else, but 2 weeks, I ain't got nothing for you. Or a wrestler would be like, hey, the Carolinas, sorry, Mr. Von Erich or Mr. Watts, Jim Crockett called, he kind of wants me to go up there, uh, do the 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, finish up what you're doing, either do a loser leaves town or, um, just end your feud, then you get written off their program, then you went to another territory. Same thing here, so hopefully, yeah, definitely does seem very beneficial. Less of a headache now. I think Sean's the head person of it, so not something he's going to have to deal with. I mean, of course, hey, they're to click. Of course, he's going to help his buddy out. Speaking of NXT and TNA, it was supposed to have been. Oops. Did you look it up? But yes, it is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The two knights were fighting, and one knight cut the arm. It's like, and the knight who had no arm was like, "Oh, I could keep going. It's just a flesh wound." Cut a leg off. Oh, just a flesh wound. Great movie, by the way. Still holds up today. Check it out. Freaking hilarious. So yeah, like I said, WWE has officially rebranded its upcoming TNA versus NXT special, dropping the name Invasion in favor of Showdown. The switch comes after Backlash in Israel, where the original title and October 7th date drew negative attention due to its historical association. Yes, it was Monty Python and the Holy Grail. On September 30th, WWE locked in a trademark for Showdown, and the new branding is now being pushed across the promotional materials. The updated name keeps the sense of conflict while steering clear of controversy, and it may even be used for future events given the wide scope of the trademark. Uh, the event itself is shaping up as one of the biggest cross promotional nights in recent history. Fans will see two massive 5-on-5 elimination matches, uh, a high stakes title unification match, and a North American Championship defense. The men's elimination match, Team NXT, Ricky Starks, Trick Williams, Miles Bourne, and Javon Evans will battle Team TNA, Mike Santana, Frankie Kazarian, Moose, and Leon Slater. On the women's side, JC Jane, Soruka, Jada Parker, and Lola Vice will represent NXT against TNA's Galena Jordan, The Inspiration, Casey Lee, and JC McKay, formerly, I think they're formerly known as the Iconics. Uh, well, they have, of course, they have. It's going to be shown in Israel, so with October 7th being the day that I think Gaza, the whole invasion thing happened, um, the the little war between, well, it's been going on for centuries now, I think, but um, trying to reference, do a good reference. Um, hmm, I guess it could be. I know this is kind of far fetched, but work with me, folks. It'll be kind of like hosting an event in New York on September 11th, calling it the attack. Uh, so therefore, well, it's not been. Of course, that's a bad reference, but it'll be like, I guess, 9/11, you know, warning attack or something like that. You know, um, I know it's a bad comparison. I'm usually pretty good at comparisons, but that wasn't my forte. But since it's been showed in Israel and the date, it kind of hits a nerve there uh, with something called invasion. I mean, I guess you call. I mean, if I don't know, I'll have to think of something. Apparently they do because yeah, they were. There's a little bit of a. It I think people there kind of said something about it. That's the reason. You'd be surprised. People people watch wrestling all over the place. But yeah, the backlash did come from Israel, so I guess fans and uh, wrote in, or maybe not fans, but um, well, it could have been fans, you know, trying to find it. Let's see. So it sparked controversy as it was scheduled for a second anniversary. It's the second anniversary of the Hamas attack in Israel. Israeli and Jewish media outlets deemed the term invasion and the timing of the event extremely insensitive. Uh, in response to the backlash, WWE eh, changed the event's name um, to Showdown. So yeah, that's I mean, but yeah, a lot of Israelis like their. I mean, WWE is a global product. People in Israel, Saudi Arabia. I mean, would you think Saudi Arabia had a bunch of wrestling fans? Obviously, they do. So yeah, that's how the. I mean, I guess it I mean, it probably again probably a bad comparison, but yeah, if um somebody held an event, WWE held an event on September 11th called Invasion, and this is what 2 years afterward. Yeah, 2023 is when it happened. So that's basically the comparison. Best comparison I can give you right now. Let's see. Okay. Uh, oh, also on TNA's women's team is Mara Sade. The tag team scene will be history. We'll see history made as NXT Tag Team Champions Dog State will collide with TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Hardy Boys, in a winner takes all unification match. Meanwhile, the North American champion Ethan Page will be in action as well. I don't know where the rest of the article went, but yeah, uh, uh, yeah, I think was it World Class used to go to Israel? Does did Israel tours? So yeah, I mean I don't know what their you know any market is or their market. I mean I could be WWE's only wrestling they do see. That's a good. Hold on, folks, trying to get some numbers here. So let's see. So they do mention one of the past events of promotion. WWE held some live events in the country before in 2006. WWE sold 22,000 tickets for a SmackDown event in Tel Aviv. Though it was ultimately canceled, this does not represent current viewership, but indicates a significant demand for live shows in the past. So, um, Well, I mean, it does say small but passionate fan base. I mean, they do have Netflix in Israel. Uh, they watch on Sport One and Sport One HD. But yeah, so they do obviously have an audience. Oh, it can't be that bad. It could be worse. I mean, I can. Mm, it being that close to what happened there, can kind of understand. But then there is that side of me. It's like it's just a name for an event, but uh, I don't run a company either. So, oh, I'm going to get to a little bit of that later. But anyway, let's move right along. Talking about some AEW. AEW President Tony Khan has reflected on the company's progress in 2025, describing it as AEW's most consistent year on television and pay-per-view. Speaking for Forbes ahead, speaking to Forbes ahead of AEW's Dynamite 6th anniversary show, which was last night. Check out my short little recap of that. That's already up. Anyway, the anniversary show that took place in Hollywood, Florida, at the 7,000 seat capacity Hard Rock Casino. Khan credited the promotion's loyal fan base and roster of top talent for the continued success. As we, as we head as we head into the 6-year anniversary show tonight, AEW still making great memories, maybe more than ever. This year we had our highest U.S. attendance in All In Texas, which I believe was the greatest show we've ever done. That kind of success is only possible because AEW has the best wrestlers in the world and incredible staff, and the most loyal fan base we could ever hope for, said Tony Khan. He also pointed to the growth across AEW's television and streaming platforms, noting the positive impact of HBO Max. AEW has been delivering great pay-per-views for years, but I think 2025 has been the most consistent run of both TV and pay-per-views. That's my opinion, but I know lots of fans share it. We've grown the television audience. Sorry. We'll get to more of that later. And that's a fact, especially with HBO Max coming on board. Some thought the Dynamite on TBS and Collision on TNT might lose viewers to HBO Max, but in 2025, our viewership has actually gone up compared to where we ended last year. Uh, Khan explained. He added, if you look at quarter four of 2024, then all of 2025, first quarter, second quarter. Now, as we wrap up the third, we're ahead of where we finished 2024. It's been really a great year. The 6th anniversary edition of AE Dynamite takes place last night, at the Hard Rock Live at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. The card will showcase TNT champion Kyle Fletcher, blah, blah, blah. And we'll get to that later. But yep, let's talk about that. So last night was the 6th anniversary of AEW Dynamite. Now, I did watch episode 1 of AEW Dynamite. Pretty good show. Pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good start. You had. They were at the. Discuss this numbers now. They were at the Capital One Arena that drew 14,129 people. 1,409 viewers watched it on TV. And you had some stars there. You had Cody Rhodes. Out of the gate, Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. MJF was there. That's his first national exposure. Pac was there. He wrestled Hangman Page. They had the AEW Women's World Championship, tournament final where Rio defeated Nyla Rose. Then you had your main event. You had Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz defeat the Elite, Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega in a 6-man match. And at the end of it, here comes Sammy Guevara came out, did a little beatdown to the Elite. Also, Jack Swagger came out, partnered up with Jericho. That would be known as the Inner Circle. So, right out the gate, we got some interest. You had, let's see, 1, 2, 3 former WWE stars who initially it's going to get your, excuse me, it's going to get people's attention. Wrestling fans knew who Cody Rhodes was, knew who Pac was, and probably. Gosh, what did he go by in WWE? I forgot. But definitely know who Chris Jericho was. So that right there, drew your eyes. Wrestling fans knew who the Bucks were, Kenny Omega. I'm talking about the diehards. And, definitely Pac and Adam Page, excuse me. So I did give you numbers. Capital One Arena, which is a 20,000 seat capacity arena, drew a little over 14,000 people, and 1,409 viewers watched it. It was on TNT. Now, fast forward. Neville, that's it, Neville. Well, see, because I always messed up anyway. Because even though Pac was Neville, I kept calling him Pac. It's kind of like for years I kept on calling Daniel Bryan Danielson. Now I do it in reverse. I call Bryan Danielson Daniel Bryan all the time. So anyway, fast forward 6 years later, here they are at the Hard Rock Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Don't have the attendance from last night, but that place has a capacity of 7,000 people. So right there, you went to a smaller venue, drawing less, 50% less. Speaking of which, last week's Dynamite from September 25th, 2025, had a rating on TBS, had a rating of 638,000 people. So that's less than half of people. Please tell me where you're growing here. I mean, they, so yeah, started in 2019. Unfortunately, I think initially, but they still did the shows in Jacksonville, but not in front of the live crowd. Just like WWE did shows in the Performance Center. Even had a WrestleMania there. That was odd, but no fans. Um, I think it hurt the product, hurt a lot of product, but I think it gained a few though because that was the only original programming that was available, except for people, YouTubers, TikTok, you know, uh, social media stars, whatever. I think some of your talk show hosts had a little podcast or something like that, and and they did enough of a bellyache. But ultimately, it did hurt like NWA Power's momentum because uh, I wasn't doing this at the time, of course. But if I could, I would have been definitely raving about NWA Power. Can't tell you what's going on there now. I think it's on Roku. Haven't watched a lot of it yet. I know Tom Lattimore he used to be Bomb and TNA. He's the NWA World Champion now. That's the only thing I know. But excuse me. But yeah, I mean, go from episode 1 to 6 years later. How many episodes done lost half the audience? Um, but was a lot of things watchable. Um, I watched the first episode. I mean, I watched a lot of the episodes, and I kind of liked it. I mean, it did kind of get repetitive and stuff like that, but so does WWE. But sometimes it's like, okay, nothing here is really, sinking my teeth in. Then again, the pandemic hit. I think they were off the air for a while. Nothing original, uh, along with WWE. So you just kind of got new habits. I'm pretty sure a lot of fans picked up new habits. But then they came back, you know. Um, uh, oops. Hold on 1 second. So yeah, after the pandemic and everything, August of 2021, I really do need to get another screen for this. Uh, CM Punk debuted. Now it's like, all right, that it was whether you like CM Punk or not, dude's a big star. He hasn't at that point didn't hasn't wrestled in or appeared on well, I mean, he appeared on that Smack Talk whatever or a cup of coffee. But as far as in ring or anything like that, no CM Punk for around a decade. So, and that's something AEW needed, and it did draw fans. However, this is when things really started changing. It seemed like, to me, a lot of the things that people were talking about AEW had nothing to do with in the ring. Not too many people were uh, talking about things that were happening in the ring. I mean, I remember when Adam Page. I didn't watch the pay per view, but I remember when Adam Page won the belt, and when he first won the belt, and he was supposed to face CM Punk. Like I said, I didn't have this going on at the time. I ain't told people when we talked about it. It was like, I'm sorry, I will have to tell CM Punk. I'm like, man, you're gonna have to do the honors on this one. Maybe we can. I mean, we didn't know then that I guess he got injured in the match, whatever. We can pull it off of there. It's like, oh, this is kind of a blessing in disguise. We can say you're injured, so therefore You can kind of downplay that. Say, yeah, no, Adam Page, you did get me, but I got hurt, blah blah blah. But or maybe a foot outside the ring or something like that, or fill on the rope reference, something. Or just a slip on a banana peel inside cradle win or something like that. That could have been suffice to going, okay, you did get me there, but did you get me again? I mean, you could have had a rematch and have CM Punk win the next one or something like that. That's why I feel. But CM Punk didn't win it. Then we had the big, but that wasn't the big news of that. It wasn't, CM Punk's back. He's a world champion. No, apparently him, uh, and the Elite, the Young Bucks and Omega did not get along. Uh, CM Punk just went on a live mic, started talking about other things, and a few other things were making the news at that point too. Kind of um, not favorable to CM Punk. So it was probably news out there, and things kind of going both ways. And there's a thing about this. He's talking out like I said, talking out of his ass. Had nothing to do with the show or anything like that. It was about backstage shit and Colt Cabana. It's like, what the hell? You know, what's this have to do with the show? It's like nothing. Think he's hurt. Uh, they had a fight backstage. Not sure what happened, but here we go now. You got not only three of your original top stars, Omega, the Young Bucks, suspended. Now you got your top star, your shot in the arm, CM Punk, injured and suspended indefinitely. But eventually, now this is when ratings started falling down below 1 million as well. Once Punk was gone or suspended off basically 4 of your stars off TV. Uh, but Punk did come back, and we've done this history before. And again, for whatever reason, uh, Punk had to go on a live TV or not live TV, but after a show and talk about Adam Page for whatever reason. Maybe they were setting up a program, maybe not. Also, there was a little backstage talk, a little heat between CM Punk and Jack Perry. And I hate to say it, I'm going with a veteran on this one. Supposedly, it was Jack Perry was wanting to go through real glass just for an angle on TV. And Punk was like, why you want to do that for? That makes this kind of listen to both sides. I kind of interpret it as Punk said, that's fucking stupid. Why you want to do that for? It would make no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. And I think this was supposed to take place at the Duluth show, but he wound up going through a table. But because that's when they was going to go to uh, London for the first All In in London, the biggest attendance show they had, biggest pay per view in the company history. But everything revolved around everything going on backstage between uh, CM Punk and Jack Perry, and CM Punk. I guess the whole locker room seems like, but it was like all the nobody's really focused or talking about the All In show. It was all talking about CM Punk in the situation. Okay, show happened. CM Punk and Samoa Joe had a pretty good match. Um, but then, as CM Punk was about to go wrestle, him and Jack Perry got in a little, I wouldn't say a brawl or anything. Just kind of uh, threw hands a little bit. It didn't seem like there was much to it. But guess what? After all those matches and everything happened all in, 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium for AEW. The only thing anybody had to talk about was CM Punk and Jack Perry. And it had nothing to do with in ring. It was backstage crap. So I do believe this is one of the problems of AEW. It's like, Tony Khan just mentioned, oh, we're making memories. Oh, only memories you're making is stuff that has nothing to do with in ring product. It's got to do with what's going on outside the ring. I mean, I was reading social media and big time AEW fan. I said, oh, it's Wednesday night. AEW's on. All wrestling, no soap opera. It's like, well, no, the soap opera is backstage. And guess what? The most attention that AEW gets is backstage. It has nothing to do with in the ring, except for a couple of things. But and yeah, Jack was being a smartass. He I think I remember watching the pay per view and throwing that car out, and uh, Jack Perry slapped the uh, windshield of the car and said, "Hey, real glass, cry me a river." And he went, yeah, he got slammed on the glass, but that's what he gets for being a little smartass. And guess what? Nobody, I don't think anybody takes him. I mean, he's back with the Jurassic Express now with uh, Luchasaurus, which was fine, but they were really trying to push Jack Perry. I mean, he got a submission win over. I do remember him getting a submission win over Luchasaurus in a cage match. It's like, okay, what you doing this shit for? Uh, but to their credit, they was trying to push little Jack Perry to the moon. Didn't quite work out. Nobody gave a shit, and definitely this didn't help him either. Being a smartass, being a no pun intended, a punk, with a veteran, and like I said, they what couldn't really tell what really happened. But I guess if you're there, people say Punk did get he had him down. I guess uh, using that MMA background that he learned. I mean, he didn't win any fights, but at least he learned. I mean, but you had that. So then y- again, here's this 80,000 people, and I think this is where things kind of started dropping off here. Because the next year, I think again the following year, I think it was 50,000 people for the All In London. Let's see. Let's go to the Google here. Let's see. Oh, my bad. Well, I mean, I was kind of close. Attendance was 40. They went from like 80,000 people to 46,476 the following year. Buy rates 167 to 173. And trying to think what happened this year. I think there was like something that kind of overshadowed this as well. Oh, there we go. I think, I think there was like an incident with MJF and Britt Baker trying to, ran her mouth about something, and um, Brit or MJF got mad, and there's, basically they kind of painted Britt Baker being kind of a prima donna. So that got that one, and I don't. I know later on, it wasn't around here, but I remember there was some heat between. But I think it was later in this. Again, after TV cameras went off, Swerve Strickland got on the mic and said "fuck Booker T" or something like that. Apparently, him and Booker T had some, heat, but Booker T works somewhere else, not there. It's time to. I mean, if it's after a show, thank the fans. Appreciate you coming out. Do something a little special for the fans, and then maybe have a special attraction dark match or something like that, where either you and somebody else or you and 6-man tag, call in the ring, y'all just have some fun. No, choose to get on the mic, say fuck, um, you know, fuck Booker T or something like that. It's like, oh, okay, Booker T don't work there. Um, he works for the WWE. He has his own podcast, has his own wrestling school, but you know, I mean, I know on his podcast he talks about AEW because that's what these people who drew money and stuff like that they do. They talk about everything wrestling. So again, it was just stuff like that. It distracted from what was going on in the ring, and that stuff seemed to be more memorable than what goes on inside the ring. I mean, I guess like I said, he does got very few diehard fans. Good for him. But again, I've mentioned before, and one of these days, somebody's going to look at these numbers and say, you know, I mean, obviously somebody in the Khan family looked at the numbers and said, man, we got to shrink this thing down. That's why they're doing 7,000, 10,000 seat venues and not 14 to 20,000 seat capacity arenas. It's like, man, those were expensive. And like I said before, it's going to come a time where they, when some of these contracts are up, they're going to look at, okay, as far as, these people they're making lots of money. They're making lots of money, but good gosh, it don't translate to the ratings. I mean, it's going to come to a point too. I think HBO or Warner Brothers or something like that is possibly going to be up for sale. They're going to look at these numbers and go, let's see, you went from here to over 1 million people 6 years later, 50, less than 50% of that, or greater than 50% you lost. More than half your audience gone. Poof. I mean, it flips a little. It'll go a little higher, then it'll dip way back down, constantly up and down. And somebody's gonna look at this, and go, well, we whoever either. I mean, even if Warner Brothers, HBO, uh, or Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't sell, somebody in there is going to like look at this and go, okay, we gave you this money, and we actually gave you a platform too, a streaming platform that they don't. Now, in defense of that, I will say, I think they were supposed to. I think these, um, I think these streaming networks were supposed to kind of disclose their ratings, if you want to call that views. I think that was part. I mean, apparently wrestling doesn't follow under that, but part of the Actors Guild, Writers Guild strike. This was something supposed to be disclosed. That way they know these are unions. You got to negotiate. Uh, they actors and writers gets, or actors especially, they don't get royalties. They get residuals. Difference is it's based on what the union thinks everybody collectively is worth. Now, some people, I mean, if you're a big star, you get big ratings. You do. I'm pretty sure your residual will be a little higher because you got room to negotiate. You know, screw that union. Uh, Unlike say musicians get paid royalties, uh, which basically is this whoever wants to use their music, the musician's agent primarily, I think. But the the agent works for the musician, so the agent's going to. It's kind of like sports agents, any kind of entertainment agents. They want to get the most money for their client as they can, because the more money their client makes, that means the more money the agent makes. At least 13% of that, 10 to 13% of that. But I digress. But streaming networks, especially after the pandemic, if I can remember if I heard this correctly, they were always kind of shy about their numbers because, like Disney, Disney came out with Disney Plus. They came out with all these shows. Then uh, the shows were not doing too well. um, Now Paramount, the got the guy's name, the guy who did Yellowstone and the one with um, Billy Bob. Um, um, yeah, Billy Bob Thornton. I think of the name of the show now. Landman. Um, and let's see, who writes for that show, or who's the creator of that show? Da, 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 Taylor, yeah, Taylor Sheridan. Yeah, that guy's basically if there's a hit show on Paramount Plus, this Taylor Sheridan created it. Uh, he's like their moneymaker. But they didn't much because I think there's one little site that is able to get them or something like that. But then it gets publicized that hey, nobody's watching this. I think they do now have like some kind of ratings thing there, and certain things they will tell you, yeah, it's doing great or not doing good at all. Now, of course, Netflix they don't mind giving you the numbers because Netflix, besides YouTube, I think, is probably the two biggest streaming sites there are. I mean, YouTube's a little different because YouTube they have creators putting their creation on there, then uh, whatever gets worked out there. But uh, Netflix, they got their own stuff, their own series, own movies. Then they, license movies coming in, original movies. I think, what was it? It was on there the other week. I seen on Slapshot. I seen Slapshot streaming on there. So I'm like, oh, cool, kick ass. But I mean, Netflix went from mail-in DVD rentals to streaming, just movies. They didn't have their own TV shows or anything like that. But they don't mind releasing their numbers because they get great numbers. They're I guess as far as like the HBO, uh, Paramount, Apple TV, whatever, Disney Plus, whatever, Netflix is still head above shoulders above them, so they don't mind giving away numbers. Um, so I'm not sure what kind of numbers they're getting on HBO Max. I heard 1 million at one time. Hmm, maybe. Who knows? But the stuff backstage, and they want to get into this. I mean, it's great. You want to sit there, you have your own beliefs and put it out there, but sometimes um, it's going to hurt your product more than help it, especially divisive politics. I mean, I'm a firm believer: go out and vote and support whoever you support, whatever, don't matter, as long as you vote. Uh, that's first and foremost. But sorry, I had an eighth grade teacher like instill that to us, you know, or her words instilled that to my mind ever since then. Uh, Eighth grade teacher, Mrs. Long. So if you're watching this, hey, how you doing? Um, I doubt it. She was a cool teacher, but I don't think she was a wrestling fan. And it's been a long time since I've been in eighth grade, so how should even remember who I am. But when you go into divisive politics, um, like this, I mean, some people agree with this, a lot of people don't. Um, when other presidents were deporting illegal immigrants, a lot of these people had no problem with it. Um, and here's your world champion here saying "fuck ICE," because last night they were showing commercials. I guess you can call it recruitment, you know, commercials. Hey, if you're in law enforcement, uh, you're not being able to do your job because your city is telling you to stand down. Hey, uh, apply with us, see what happens. So that doesn't help at all. Uh, that doesn't help anything, especially at this time of day, where politics is basically like religion almost. You got uh, you got 45 here, 45 there, um, and you got another 10% in the middle, and uh, and back in the day, sometimes uh, you had people. It's like, okay, I understand your point, I understand your point. We actually agree on this point, so let's work together for that. Now it's like, okay, uh, you know, uh, here here's us. We're gonna believe 100% of this. If you we're going with this all the way, whatever. Um, but when you're playing in that field, eh, it's not a good look. That's what's killing. That's one of the things that's killed entertainment. Uh, look at the movies. Missions for how many movies now make $1 billion just because they want to insert their device. I don't call it. Not gonna call it politics. I'm calling it divisive politics. Because I think there's a lot of things that everybody can agree on. That's not really political. You know, I know both sides don't like racism. Uh, I, I believe that both sides want to see, you know, children get a good education and be protected, and from all the evils of the world. But both sides agree on that. If they would actually talk, they would say, "Yeah, I can believe that." Um, but this a lot of people go through one extreme to another one. and you wind up losing people. And when you're entertainment, I mean, there's a middle road, I think, that everybody can agree on and you can speak about. But then, um, I mean, we're talking, I would say since 2000s, a lot of the shows have been kind of favorable to one side. And when you do that, guess what? You start to lose out on sometimes more than half your. I mean, sometimes you'll lose out, even politically, the people that agree with you on this. But this seems like, okay, this is not entertaining, so I'm going to find something else. I mean, look at the treatment of J.K. Rowling's. I mean, go look that up and look at the. I mean, if she voted right now, she would vote this way up and down, but she went and didn't agree on one thing that some of these people agree on, and they want it canceled. I mean, even I'm pretty sure she voted right now that she would vote one way, and even though the people who on this one subject she disagree with, and she agrees with the other side, she'll still vote for that side. But but yeah, look at movies, look at TV, late night. Yeah, it's great that what's his name, Stephen Colbert gets millions of dollars every episode. That's just for him. But I mean, I don't know the exact numbers. I'm just giving a number, an example. When they cost, you know, if a production costs say $5 million to produce, that includes the host salary, staff salary, the studio, lighting, cameras, everything else. If that all costs $5 million together, and you're only making three, that's not good. And one of the things is like, uh, and entertainment's subjective, but when your big thing is talking about one guy every fucking night, I mean, even when he wasn't president, it's like, okay, he's not president no more, so let's make jokes about the new president. Saturday Night Live used to be good. If you go back and watch the old Saturday Night Live from like mid-70s on through, they were good. It's like, who's the president now? Jimmy Carter? Well, we're making fun of him. Who's the president now? Ronald Reagan? Well, we're making fun of him. Who's the president now? George Bush? Well, we're making fun of him. Who's the president now? Bill Clinton? Well, we're making fun of him. And they did. It didn't matter. It went both ways, and it was entertaining. Everybody laughed together. But now if you're an entertainment, your sport. Sorry for those people who's in Duluth, Georgia. That last time they were there, AEW was there. You talking about AEW? That's real wrestling. No, they're sports entertainment. But they go in there, they do a performance, hoping nobody gets hurt. You know, and then I mean, they know who's going to win, who's going to lose, just like WWE. WWE, little soap opera, little storyline, stuff like that. I mean, come on. They watched the beginning of Raw last week and didn't feel sorry for Io Sky, except for Joe King. He didn't fucking feel bad for that motherfucker. Just kidding. Um, but that's what majority of people are going to see. And like I've said before, I want AEW to succeed. I wish they just change things a little bit, get somebody in there that's going to be, okay, your match. Okay, what we're doing here. There's the agent. Okay, all right. next match, you're not going to do the same exact thing as these people. Even though WWE is kind of guilty of that as well at times, but sometimes it's like, okay, gotta do a little different here. Just a little different. It's like, why do you hate these people again? Oh, okay, just to hate them. But, yeah, I want them to see. And I've said it a lot of times. They still have a lot of good talent there. I mean, look at that card from last night. Let me see if I can just blow it up a little. Woo, blow it up a little bit. There we go. On button. God, son of a bee. And I said it plenty of times before too. You got Moxley there. Daniel Garcia, he's talented in the ring. I don't know what they're trying to. How to put this nicely. He's one of those guys that's going to be, mid card. Oh, he's in this match. Okay, dude, check this out. It's going to be a good match right here. Daniel Garcia's in it. That's Daniel Garcia, not world champion. Maybe he had a little run at TNT champion, but but then they went up against Adam Page. And, I think they, despite how even before AEW and all this, I was never a big fan. But yeah, it is I mean, like I said, it is a collection of a lot of things. The more the outside things made it more memorable than inside the ring. Uh, and I've mentioned this too before. It's mm, no structure. It seems this, um, and supposedly supposedly now they're having production meetings and stuff like that, trying to get more structure in there. But there needs to be somebody who's going to be like, okay, here's how stuff's going to be. I mean, like I said, look at this roster. You got Moxley. You got, like I said, even when he was in Ring of Honor, was not a fan of Adam Page. Uh, this wasn't. But before right before he first became world champion, he was getting over like $1 million. The cowboy shit thing and stuff like that. If he kept with that and all that, I think he would be of you know he'll still be in that main event picture. Swerve Strickland, same thing. It's like um not sure where to go with that one. But yeah, then Powerhouse Hobbs was in this match. I think Powerhouse Hobbs, it can be that future big dominant main event type guy. Um, Blue collar, um, you know, not rich, whatever, middle class, blue collar, whatever type star. The kind of guy everyday fans can get behind. Samoa Joe, his record speaks for itself. Dude's a legend. Darby Allin, wish he wouldn't do so much dumb shit though. I mean, he is. If I was going to compare him, he's not a luchador. Yes, I know he's not a luchador, but he's that little guy who fights big guys, sells, and fights like a little man. When he fights bigger people, he fights them like, he's an underdog. That's the reason I'd say I kind of compare him to Rey Mysterio Jr. on that aspect. So he is basically their Rey Mysterio, the constant underdog, um, small guy, but by guy, he's going to give you everything he has, fight you to the bitter end. Not a fan of yeah all the tournament things. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, well, I mean, is it really that just that name alone, Forbidden Door? I mean, NWA or the NWA WCW, they did shows, co-op shows with New Japan. They actually had Starrcade, WCW versus New Japan. Um, so it's not really a forbidden door. Okay, maybe you know WWE don't do it because for the longest time the head guy probably you know he didn't watch New Japan. He didn't watch ECW. He didn't watch WCW. He didn't watch Southern Fried Wrestling. He didn't watch NWA Wildside. I don't even think he watched it when I don't even think he watched when he had developmental OVW that I talked about earlier. He owned it. He watches what he watches his product. He he goes from that. I mean, he's got a staff of writers and stuff like that. He overlooked it, plucked out the things he didn't like, fill in the holes, and it went out. And I say up until probably right before his troubles hit. See, that's the thing too. Sometimes it's not always out. I mean, that's they. Not that WWE has outside scandals or even CM Punk when he went to the No King thing, whatever. Uh, it don't bother WWE. It doesn't affect their product because their product is pretty big. People might leave a little bit, but hell, they come back because something interesting will happen. But but Chris Stanley, I was always high on her. Um, was surprised I gave her the championship after, I mean, 2 straight losses to the TNT champion. I think they should have made 2 out of 3 or whatever. Maybe her win one, then Monet could have won a second one because that's their format. Um, Wheeler Yuta, another guy, falls in line as Daniel Garcia. Good ring hand. That's about it. Um, Young Bucks, they're just annoying, but people like watching them. Josh Alexander, eh, the Canadian Kurt Angle, but except for we all love Kurt Angle. Kenny Omega, um, despite what you know, um, I think of Brody King. Brody King, if this dude was in the territories back in the day, he would be he will be an attraction. He will be a big star, kind of like the Abdullahs, the Stan Hansen, the Bruiser Brody type guys. You gotta have a big brawler. He needs another big brawler kind of uh to feud with sometimes. And if they got New Japan, hey, you can send those 2 guys, let them have a feud in New Japan, take them off TV, bring one back, put another big guy in there. Things that things of that nature can be done. Kyle Fletcher, again, if you listen to anything I said about Kyle Fletcher, dude's going to be the rich snobby heel top star. Uh, he shows signs of it. Dude's bulking up, tall, got a good look about him, good in the ring. Uh, it's got room of improvement. Like I said, the All Out, not quite ready to be the champion yet, but give it time. Give it, give it some time. Orange Cassidy, a comedy attraction. You go, he's your entertainer. He, um, Tony Storm, again, she uh, started a gimmick and people go crazy over it. So, and I done gave my opinions about Jurassic Express. I don't think anybody really cares. They got their initial pop, and yeah, yeah, that's it. But but there's like, I mean, this your 6 year anniversary. You still cannot. I mean, the Rays ain't came out yet, but still, uh, you should be pulling still 1 million or more a week. No excuse, except for your product is not interesting. People are not interested, and you have other stuff that comes up that goes, eh. Oh, I don't want. Why do I want to watch that now? No, why would say a kid whose parents work in law enforcement? Why do they want to watch this? Okay, the biggest thing that come out of this event was two guys fighting backstage. Eh, that's the only thing anybody cares about. Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, I mean, some of those pay per view, like in their pay per views, sometimes they drag. Uh, you gotta know your talent. You gotta know. Okay, these people do not need to be going at it for an hour. No, or 30 minutes. No. And here again, you got your. I mean, MJF was supposed to be one of your main event people, and he's taking a sabbatical again. I guess going on his honeymoon or whatever. It's like, okay, it's great, but you gotta come back to work next week. Um, like I said, nothing against Mark Briscoe, but it seemed like you should be trying to push MJF back up there. Right now, he's supposed to be your at least second top heel or whatever behind Death Riders, and Death Riders have kind of. I mean, hell, they had 2 matches this week, and they lost both of them. Yeah, not everybody needs, not every match needs to be knock down, drag out, whatever, same shit, false finish, whatever. Um, I mean, do they really need? I mean, now we got the Don Callis family who it's got like 20 people in it. You don't need that many people in the stable. This ain't the 80s. I mean, the Bobby Heenan family probably worked because all of his talent had things going on with other talent that, just different people here and there, and they just interchange parts, and some people just go away for a while. But you know who the main people are. Oh, and the people went on. I mean, and here's the thing too: is like they've always had this young talent just sitting there. I mean, hell, Sammy Guevara, he's supposed to be one of your pillars, but guess what? He's on Ring of Honor. Does anybody have the Ring of? How many people have the Ring of Honor app to watch Ring of Honor? Oh yeah, your champions won't have the tag team champions. That makes no sense. I mean, I guess at the last minute, for some reason, they put Hook in with the Ops to take Hook's place. But man, what almost make if it was me, I would have put Hobbs in a feud with Brody King, let them just beat the hell out of each other. Then because this will work with AEW. This is something that AEW, a grounded AEW storyline. I think their fans and more people kind of you know get with. Him and Hobbs, or Brody King Hobbs had a knockdown drag out, two big heavy hitting, you know, matches at, disqualifications, double countouts, double knockouts. Then they blow it off in some kind of street fight. Real Texas death match, not the just you put Texas death match in just a regular street fight. Then it's like, look, we beat the hell out of each other. Let's so, you can always play it off. One of those, um, hey, here's a quick little tag team battle royal. Um, you know, then we'll have a mystery team. We're just going to draw two names out of a hat, and the two names are Hobbs and Brody. Then they partner up, and they could have been tag team champions. A little silly feud like that. Stuff you don't see nowadays. Instead of just throwing two names together. But like I said, Hobbs, I think he's the big dudes. He can be that dominant. Like I said, uh, I don't want to go way back and say, Bruno Sammartino type, just a big, dominant, brawling punch. Kick. I mean, because that's what Bruno Sammartino did: punch, kick, put you in a bear hug, over the shoulder backbreaker, and all that good stuff. Anyway, I think I've spoken enough on this subject. We've browbeat AEW enough this week, but again, I say this. I say this stuff because I do want them to succeed. Um, just because, hey, look at it this week. Andrade got let go or quit or get fired, depends on who you listen to. Got fired from WWE. Guess what? Appeared on AEW. Ain't gonna skip a paycheck. Not a good paycheck too. Yeah, he's gonna get probably the same amount, maybe even more from AEW they got from WWE. There you go. Another place where people can go and make good money. That's what AEW provides. But it's not going to keep going once people start looking at numbers and go, like I said, the Khan family's going to look at things and be like, okay, we got a new TV deal, but we didn't even get the same amount. We can't. Now we got to shop networks because they might let us go, or we could, you know, okay, here comes contract time. Some of these people, it's like we're gonna have to clean house. Some of these people are gonna have to take less, or good luck somewhere else. Because it, yes, I know they're billionaires, but sometimes they're not billionaires because they like to throw money away. They're billionaires because they know how to spend wisely, calculate risk, know when to save money, know where to save money. It's like, okay, it's not producing, so therefore, look at Panda Energy, uh, Dixie Carter. They were, uh, wasn't that like $1 billion company too? And they finally it's like, okay, especially at the Hulk Hogan's debacle, it's like, okay, we're done. We got shot for a new network. No, you're done, young lady. We're going to sell this thing. And that's probably what cons might want to do too. It's like, okay, clean house, get rid of some of these contracts. They want to keep AJ Styles and TNA, but they offered him, I think, half of, pennies on the dollar what he was already making. And he's like, nope. They wind up, look what happened. Went to New Japan, did Independence, Ring of Honor, and all that. And I think there was an article, before he went to WWE, where he had done made within 6 months, he already done made what he would have made in TNA. And of course, WWE, pick up the phone and say, "Hey, come on in, my boy. I'm gonna make sure all your kids go to college. Your bills are you have utilities to pay for now. I think everything should be paid for, including your kids' education." So anyway, I digress. Anyway, I think that does it for me tonight. Tonight. That does it for me tonight. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little sleepy here. Um, but I'll be back here tomorrow night for Wrestling Gold Friday night. And as usual, you folks have a good one. Take it easy. And until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Ronald Ray here saying thank you for checking out my video. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and share this video with family and friends. I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to RP2 Vision, where I cover the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. Now don't forget to click the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified when my other weekly content is available, like Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, WWE Raw Recap, and AEW Dynamite Recap. I also have 2 live streams. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Spot Show Live Stream, where I discuss the latest news in professional wrestling. And on Friday nights at 8 o'clock p.m., it's Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where I discuss the good old days of professional wrestling. When wrestling was wrestling, wrestling was real because it's still real to us.